Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the last one, we completed the bad ending of the game, and we also finished up Chapter 5 of the game. Right now, Makoto has technically been executed, but he is still alive. He's in the trash chute. But in this one, we're going to try and figure out how Kyoko and Makoto can get out of there. And hopefully discover who the mastermind truly is. Let's find out. The Ultimate Despair, a group of people who caused tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Let's try the door up here. It's locked, but we have a way to open this door. Come on, Kyoko, open the door. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room.
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Let's try it. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with Monokuma's design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then, yep, it does work. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. I wonder where this light leads. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6, the ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, the ultimate execution, the ultimate death. Deadly life. We're already in deadly life, jeez. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help me keep my mind off of it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right?
Right.
So, because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of Kirigiri family. He was very talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self. She was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? So it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, but I don't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Is that the hatch right at the entrance room? I have a feeling that is. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of the doors, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. we're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? Oh, it's the trash room one. I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my hand up and pushed against the hatch. I guess it is the trash room one. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't actually say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of here there. Now we're back in Hope Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. I hope she talked to the group before bringing me up here. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. She said that. As she said that, she pointed at a nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the only one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation in Mikuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Let's leave this room. I hope we don't have to worry about running into anyone. Let me check the map just in case. See if anyone's outside their room. Doesn't look like it, but there's a chance we could run into someone. Okay. Hope Peak Academy through here. Where's the red door? Run all the way over here. Gym. Huh. I wonder what's gonna happen here when we expose that we are still alive. I wonder if he'll even care.
Well now.
Hey. Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but it is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko?
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me say one thing.
No.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? I lose? You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in a response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of being that could come to our aid, even after you killed it.
am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well,
And you could prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this comedy routine? To make such a bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared for another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
what the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said exactly, right?
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and
that's
square,
what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So what is your advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Okay.
Hey,
Well then, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without any another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now what you've suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll enough convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Let's have one finally grisly showdown, he agreed. Then we still have a shot at this. But this is a long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So this final face-off, you'll unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we're been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mystery of this school, then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. But you learn the whole truth. What kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure, so what?
Hey.
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception. Then it's part of the regulations, which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay. Enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go all quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? Oof. I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. He's having fun laughing there. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out in the gym. Or out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not being getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to all that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off,
However,
and yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost of killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would seem
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point.
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that and try and prove that despair is better than hope. That their goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivations come from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, the same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
in other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored the rules, this would have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial, they didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed live on TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning, essentially. I was making a bet, but it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident with the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost our lives. There's no option except win.
Hey.
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However...
Is that really possible? Huh? Anyway, right now, we have to go find the others.
Shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? Yeah, let's head out of here. I really hope they'll help. Honestly, that's the only way we're gonna really escape this place. We have to have everyone work together, right? So, let's see what we can do here. Let's see, I don't see anyone. Are they upstairs? There's Kyoko in the hallway. Where's she at? I don't see her. Or does that mean she's just following me? Yeah, it probably just means she's following me. 50% map. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one, no one. I can only see the first floor right now. Weird. Let's check the bathroom. It's the only place without a camera. Let's check in here maybe. Where you guys at? I don't think they're in the sauna. I'm gonna say they're probably in the dining hall. Let's check the dining hall. Hello, anyone in here? And suddenly we were greeted with... You again? Is he broken? I suppose his emotion instability has reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
However...
I wonder what was that all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Hey guys.
Makoto?
Yep, I'm alive.
You guys! It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto!
Hello.
You survived?
Yep.
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that? I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
No. Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away, shoo shoo. And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you.
Huh?
Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy, I just,
however,
But executing Makoto who wasn't the Blackened is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have a trial one more time.
Huh?
And that mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
You're very observant of you. Very observant of you. I recall what you said at the end of the last class trial. When you said now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you're referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's all about who killed Mukuro, right? So, our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything right.
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone?
I hate you.
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But I figured out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro. But figuring out killed Mukuro and all the school's mysteries? It's pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we will solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Can't agree. You can't agree, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I said. What I thought, too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game has began with 16 participants, all of them being high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began. All those 16 students are those 16 students. Monokuma said that, didn't he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, and as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised that scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Nothing to need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking around off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all that dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of that conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Ding dong bing bong.
This is a school announcement.
That seems new.
You've all probably figured this out by now, but
But what?
at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So,
True ending
in the
mode.
name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look
Okay.
wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
Okay.
Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Okay. Huh. How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the very beginning anyway.
In the name of my
At this
family.
point, I can rely on only myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Bye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master? He didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you were like coffee with cream without the cream or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. That's funny. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? How about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto? That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Are you gonna be walking off too? So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can come back to get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
so then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have endless lists of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go we can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So what? That's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this case. And then we can all escape together. Investigation. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They also had been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up till now. The headmaster room, the biolab, the door in the data center, and Monokuma's face center. Okay. Yeah, the data center with the Monokuma face. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to go. I can look at that for later. Cool. Places to check has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. That's good to have, honestly. And you know what? Now that we've got that set up, we're ready to get close to the end of this game, so... As always, thank you all for watching today's episode. Keep being spooky, and I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow. Let's get further into this exploration, shall we? See you tomorrow. Peace out. Hey guys and girls, I just want to say thank you for watching the video. If you liked everything today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe and hit the bell notification. Thank you all for watching, and peace out. See y'all next time.